I had a lady that I hired 29 years ago, almost 30 years ago. More than 30 years. God. 30 years ago, I hired her. I trained her for 6 weeks. She was just starting to get productive. She went off to Las Vegas for a weekend with a friend, meets a guy on Friday, gets married on Sunday, comes back, and tells me that she needs her paycheck. She's moving to Las Vegas. At the time, I devalued myself. The time I didn't understand money. I was sort of altruistic. And I had to pay her at my expense. And I was pissed. You know what I mean by pissed? Purposely inspired spiritual service that educates to the divinity. And I had to pay her at my expense. That means the person who is the least valuable, that hadn't even produced anything yet, was being paid over the person who was the most important person in the company, me. Without me, I was the most indispensable. If something happened to me, the company's gone. You always pay the person that's most indispensable first. The one that's most dispensable last. If you do, you will never have any problem paying all of them. So that night, I went home and I was pissed. And I bitched at my wife at the time. Because I was angry. Because I was thinking, I'm now going to have to postpone the money to the family to pay her because she wanted her payment because she was leaving. And I was left without somebody to take care of things. And I woke up and I said, damn it, I deserve better than that. And that lady came into my life as a feedback system to get me to value me. All the feedback you ever get in your life, no matter what it is, in every area of your life, is a feedback to try to get you to live authentically and inspired, I guarantee you. I studied physiology. All your cells and physiology is doing that. Everything. If you know how to interpret it. That's why everything's on the way, not in the way, if you know how to ask the right question. In the Breakthrough Experience, I teach people how to ask the right question so they can see everything on the way, not in the way. But at that time, I got the message and I valued myself, and that day is when I started my savings program. And I was scared to start my savings program. But I went and made a commitment to do $10 a day, $50 a week, $200 a month. That's all I thought I could do. 27 years old. I had loans, just opened up an office, just got a house, car. I was debt. Scared. But I committed $200 no matter what. Because I said if I said if I don't value myself, the world's not going to, it's not going to happen. I have to value myself. I have to invest in myself. Jim Rohn taught me that when I was 23, but I wasn't ready to hear it. So I did it. And the next 3 months, I didn't miss it. Parkinson's law automatically brought things back to just break even, but now I had $200 after breaking even. Then I made it $300, I raised it to $300. And then the next 3 months, I noticed I broke even again, but now I had $300 a month going into savings. Then I made $500, then $750, then $1,000. And I just kept breaking even after I did it. And I was thinking, you know what? The more I save, I break even afterwards. I was breaking even with no savings, now I'm breaking even with savings. How many got what I just said? So I started doing it, and I raised it again, $1,250, $1,500, $1,750, $2,000. When I got to 2,000, I said, this is a science. I'm going to start increasing this every quarter, 10%. And I started running a projection of where I could be if I continued that. And I started accelerating my savings 10% every quarter, which meant I doubled my savings every 2 years. And it went to 2 to 4,000, to 8,000, to 16,000, to 32,000, to 128,000, 64 and 128,000. And then I realized I was actually saving faster than the markets could grow. And my wealth was growing faster than I had to rely on any market to do it. But I noticed a number of things. That every time I was investing in me, I started attracting a better quality client. I started having less volatility in my business. I started attracting ideas, opportunities, and associations. I started attracting things that shifted. And my brand grew. And then people wanted to leverage the brand and offer money just to have the leverage. Then I found every time somebody wanted to take me to dinner or lunch, and I was planning on paying for it, they paid for it, I took the amount and I put it in savings. I started just accelerating my savings And all of a sudden, my money was starting to make me as much money as I was working. And I reached a financial independence point. And then I started realizing it's now beyond me. It's not about my cause. It's enough for my family. What about the community now? What about the city? What about the state? What about the nation? What about the world? What could I do in the world? I gave myself permission. See, I really believe if you invest in yourself, you expand yourself, you give yourself permission to do more for the world, which is a reflection of you. So you make a difference by saving and investing. But I stacked up the benefits of building my business. I stacked up the benefits of managing my business. I stacked up the benefits of saving. I stacked up the benefits of investing. And I started studying each one of those things and learning it. Because when you value it, you start reading about it, learning about it, mentoring under it, meeting people, talking about it. You start to learn about it. It's a science. And today, 30 years later, one generation later, what was once my fantasy is my reality today. There's no reason why anybody in this room can't transform their fantasies into realities, their dreams into realities.